hike in land circle rate and its impact on the property prices, and my back-to-back video on the subject. Now, before you ask me why so, let me tell you that my mailbox is full of questions. Everybody wants to know the two questions that are relevant to them. First, will property prices go up? And who is the beneficiary of gap in circle rate and market rate? For the records and those who have not seen my previous video, Maharashtra government has hiked its ready reckoner rates. Ready reckoner rates, circle rate or guidance value, these are all the same. Maharashtra government has hiked its ready reckoner. In Uttar Pradesh, Gautam Budh Nagar is planning to hike circle rate up to 70%. The Supreme Court of India has also been very critical of gap between circle rate and actual market price. The Supreme Court has even advised that professionals should be hired so that there is no mismatch between circle rate and market rate. Before I come to the critical question whether this will lead to property prices hike, first let's understand the difference. What is circle rate? Circle rate is the minimum amount of that land value under which you can't get property registration. Historically, there has been a gap between circle rate and market rate because real estate and property is the only avenue where anybody can adjust its black money. You can't adjust your black money in a stock market. You can't adjust it in gold. This is the only place where you can adjust, and so the vested interest in political circle and bureaucracy, they always kept the gap between circle rate and market rate. But are these vested interests the only party to be beneficiary of gap in circle rate and market rate? No. Builders are equally beneficiary party. When a builder takes cash component from his buyers, he can purchase those items where the GST is at its max 28%. He can go and buy it with cash. What about the buyers? Are buyers not beneficiary of this gap in circle rate and market rate? The fact of the matter is that home buyers are equally beneficiary of this gap. And I tell you how it works. I am not here to blame the home buyers for being a beneficiary of gap between circle rate and market rate. And I tell you why. In India, the problem is of triple taxation in property market. Suppose a home buyer goes out to buy a house worth 1 crore rupees. Now, if he has 1 crore rupees, he has already paid 30% tax over that earned money. Then he has to pay 5% GST. That's double taxation. Then he has to pay 7% stamp duty. That's triple taxation. So, what home buyers also prefer to do is that they give some component. Say, if you out of 1 crore of rupees of worth of a house, you pay 20 lakh in cash, 5% GST and 7% stamp duty, you save 12%. That is out of 20 lakhs paying cash, you are saving your 2,40,000 rupees. So it's an ecosystem where every party is beneficiary of gap between circle rate and market rate. And who is losing out in this game? Definitely the state, because the state is losing its stamp duty. This is where the Supreme Court has pinpointed that there is a question of black money into this business. A closer look at the ground realities suggests that cash component is not just about black money. Many buyers who have money with them where they have already paid the taxes. That's not a black money. They also prefer to give cash to save GST and stamp duty. So everybody is getting beneficiary. Now the point is, the second question and most critical question, will hike in circle rate lead to hike in property prices? With the existing inventory, the developers have little room to hike the property prices. Market is, we are sitting in a property market where unsold stock is a critical question. But moving forward, when the developers will buy higher land prices, when they will give higher land prices, when the government will auction land at a higher rate, this will lead to hike in property prices. Mind you, we are sitting in a market where affordability of housing is a critical question. In terms of income to price to income ratio, the global benchmark is 5. That is, the house that you should buy should be worth 5 years of your gross income. In India, the average comes to 11. Price to income ratio in general average is 11 and it goes up to 30 in certain cities. So, can the market absorb hiked circle rate and by default hiked property prices? Your guess is as good as mine. But one thing can definitely be vouchsafed is that housing is going out of an average Indians. Today, only 1% of population, the top 1% can afford to buy a house in any major given city. So, anybody will come and say, I have only pointed out the problem areas. What is the solution? Well, the solution is not as simple as it appears, but time has come for government to rationalize circle rate and market prices. How they will do it is a critical question. Secondly, the time has come for government to develop more cities. Tier 2 and 3 cities have to be developed so that there is less demand in tier 1 cities. Is that easier to be done? Well, we all have seen what has happened with the lofty promise of 100 smart cities. So, all in all, hike in land prices leading to hike in property prices is going to make houses completely unaffordable for a vast majority of Indians. Solution lies somewhere in the power corridors. But are they listening? I don't think so. Thanks for watching. Hi. Thank you all for subscribing our channel and posting your comments. I appreciate. Trust me, I take time to read all the comments and I take your comments, feedback and queries with due professional seriousness. I would continue to make video on the topics and questions raised in the comments section as I aspire to make this platform dialogue driven. May I request you all to subscribe this channel and keep posting your comments. Our mail ID is given in the description and you are also free to ask questions through your short and crisp video. I will try my best to take your video queries and reply it in the subsequent video. Let's make this channel unique and dialogue driven. Thank you.